Why don't we go back to Africa? You know, with the hate that America, or at least Donald Trump, gets with everything that's going on in the world, or everything that's going on in this country, why don't you just go back to Africa? Why is it so hard for you to take your family and go where you're loved, go where you're wanted? Maybe because you don't know anybody there, maybe because you don't have the money to go there, maybe because you're not in a position to where you want to leave the rest of your family. Then I would just advise to just be quiet, because it's like it gets frustrating sometimes, you know, when people complain about things that they can resolve. You know, if you feel as though like our vote don't matter, if you feel like that there's a lot of injustices for us black melanated folks, if you feel like that this country is so bad, why not leave it? Why not leave? Why not do whatever you can to find out all the steps and direction and laws that you need to know before you move and move? Why can't you just leave? That's all you have to do is leave. You're an adult, you're grown, you can leave if you want to. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm like I said, I'm gonna be real. Like I'm scared to leave. Honestly, I don't know nobody in Africa. I hardly know people here, but it's like I don't really see the need for me to move. I mean, I would like to visit it, but it's like, what am I going to? I mean, I could probably go to Angola, get a job, maybe find me a nice place. I mean, maybe, but I'm just saying, like, what is worth the complaining? It's almost kind of like people rather complain and cry about problems than to actually do some work and do it. Like, again, like, I'm 38 years old. I lived my life complaining, but I also lived my life working it out, getting through it. And sometimes things failed, sometimes things didn't. But I'm just like, why don't you just leave? If you hate this country so badly, why don't you just leave? Is it maybe it's easier said than done, but what is the issue? You know, we like to claim our ancestors and our home, but we don't really do anything for our ancestors at home. Because like I said, our civilization did not start with slavery. We are the original people. We were scattered all over the world. We was in Europe first. We was in Asia first. We was in America first. But the thing about it is, because your history, the history in America, was first given to you in school or in church, and your family, whatever, they can only pass down what they know. A lot of our ancestors that came in on ships, they're gone. They didn't pass down any memories. They wasn't thinking about you. They didn't tell their children, hey, like tell them what happened. Like, you might be blessed enough to where your grandparent or your great parent was, you know, was an actual slave, or was a direct descendant of a slave, like maybe a first cousin or a brother or aunt. But the thing about it is like, you know, why not move? Why not move? You know, for all my entrepreneurs, why not move? For all my rich people, why not move? For everybody who has children, go ahead and take your children and go on back home. Why not move? Like, I'm getting sick and tired of it, man. Like we it's like we sit here and say we're not our ancestors. We're not going to just up and go back into slavery. We're not just going to let people just try to hang us. But guess what? It's happening. You think the people that you think our ancestors was voluntarily getting noosed? You think our ancestors was voluntarily getting those beatings? So to say you're not your ancestors is really honestly disrespectful, but at the same time it's like you're right. You're not our ancestors because, like I said, our ancestors had went through so much, and you're complaining about stamps and presidency and all these other things that isn't going to matter in a couple years. You're complaining about minor things. And I'm going to be honest, we talk about voting locally. We talk about, doing stuff for our communities and stuff. That's how you kind of make a difference. But, sometimes you got to do something for yourself. Do something for yourself and get out of here. Do something for yourself and make your own country. If you have a problem with how things are being ran, you're old enough, you can go ahead and run. See, it's easy. It's easy to point the finger. It's easy to point the finger at these athletes. It's easy to point the finger at these celebrities, these movie stars, these rappers, these artists, the politicians, because they're doing something. But the thing about it is, all you're doing is complaining. Don't have no type of motion going on. But that's just me. I'm just getting some things off my chest, man. Like just move. Just that's all you gotta do. Just move. Just move.